This is where amazing happens for real.
Welcome, basketball fans. Destiny has a date, and that day will be in the beautiful city of Paris for the 2024 Paris Olympics, and one of these two teams will make their way for the Olympics. Josh Bett alongside Shona Thorborn, two-time Canadian Olympian, and of course, Shona, this game has big implications. It is the final of the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament, and it is the Bahamas versus Spain. One of these two teams will make their road to the Olympics.
You said it. Everything on the line tonight. Will Spain be going back to the Olympics, where they have been a powerhouse, really, if you consider Bahamas going up against the mighty Spain? But you know what? They have absolutely nothing to lose. They have proved in the last year, a 12-month cycle, that they deserve to be here. They beat Argentina twice last summer to even be in this position. They took down Finland in the first day. They took down Poland in this game day too. Lebanon in the quarterfinals. Can they take down the #2 team in the world, Spain?
This is going to be a big matchup. Remember, the Bahamas, they've never played at an Olympics. Neither have they played at a FIBA Basketball Cup. They've only ever played at one FIBA America Cup, and that was back in 1995, in which they had one victory. Chris DeMarco, head coach, currently works with the Golden State Warriors as an assistant. And history can be made today here for the Bahamas. Well, Spain, it was a very close game against Finland yesterday, but you know, this team, they are used to making it to the Olympics. You go back to the first ever Spanish Euro, one Emiliano Rodriguez, a Real Madrid legend. He started the genesis of Spanish basketball in the Olympics. With this team, they've got a big legacy to live up to.
They have a very big legacy to live up to. Will Rudy Fernandez, the captain of the Spanish team, be playing in his 6th Olympics? If he does, he's going to join Diana Taurasi as the only 2 basketball players playing in 6 Olympics. So you can imagine not just the guys wanting to try and get back, try and get on that podium, but they also want Rudy Fernandez to make history.
Welcome everybody, Sergio Scariolo, head coach of Spain, but now it's time that we stand and pay respect and homage to the national anthems of these two beautiful countries, of both the Bahamas and Spain.
Please stand up for the national anthem of Bahamas. Y con todos nosotros, el himno nacional de España.
National anthems of these two beautiful countries have been sung, and Scariolo will shake hands with Coach DeMarco, as will the players and officials. Well, basketball fans, now is a very good time to introduce three very important people for this game. We'd like to give a big shout out and a big thank you to our three referees. Well, we have three of the very finest in this evening. Coming from Latvia, we have Martins Kovslauskas. Coming from Puerto Rico, we have Johnny Batista Palermo. And coming from Slovenia, we have Boris Krejci. Again, a big shout out and thank you to all of our FIBA referees. They've done an excellent job in all of our competitions, and they will continue to do so here tonight for the final of the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament between Spain and the Bahamas. Well, Shona, taking a look at this starting lineup, we'll begin with the Bahamas. The big three, you can see it, Buddy Hield, Eric Gordon, DeAndre Ayton in the lineup. They have to be big tonight. They
have to be big. You know, Eric Gordon, I would say he was a little cold last game. He missed quite a few open three-point shots, and we're not used to seeing Eric Gordon miss open shots. In my opinion, he really has to step up. He's got to start defensively, and he's got to contribute on offense. DeAndre Ayton has got better every single game he has played. 24 points, 15 rebounds. Last game, he's averaging 20 and 11 throughout this tournament. You kind of expect him to continue to improve. Maybe it's going to be a 30 and 15 night for him.
Coach Chris DeMarco, history can be made today with the Bahamas. They have yet to lose a game here at the FIBA OQT, as do Spain. And again, history could be made for the Bahamas. For Spain, it's almost like you're a kid in the candy store. So many players to look upon. I mean, the likes of Santi Dalma, but Lorenzo Brown has been key. But the big talking point will be Willy Hernan Gomez.
Willy Hernan Gomez, he's their 2022 Eurobasket MVP. But Lorenzo Brown, for me, really stepped up against Finland. When they needed a bucket in that fourth quarter, he's the man that they went to. He finished with 15 points against Finland, averaging 9 assists a game in this contest. Best in the tournament, but Willy Hernan Gomez, look at that, 28 points, 5 rebounds, 7 and 2. 19 of those points came in the second half when his team needed them the most.
Now, the talking point about Willy Hernan Gomez, everybody is talking about it. Journalists, coaches, fans even, the matchup between him and DeAndre Ayton. You know, what do you think would be the talking point from Sergio Scariolo when he's saying to Hernan Gomez, look, this is what you have to do when you defend DeAndre Ayton? What is going to be the key talking point?
Well, you know, we saw against Angola, Spain, they beat Angola, but Angola really gave them a run for their money. Spain coming up 89-81. And a lot of that had to do with the Angola's physicality and bigs down low. They really went after Aldama. They went after Hernan Gomez, and I think it took them out of their game. My opinion, Bahamas, your first couple sets, go ahead and run that pick and roll option. Have your shooter, Eric Gordon, waiting on the three-point line. Help can't come off him. Get the ball inside to Ayton.
The countdown to tip-off is underway. A big shout-out and thank you to the official sponsors, Tissot. There you have it, the Tissot countdown to tip-off. We're almost close to tip. Of course, one team has already qualified for the Olympics, and it's fair to say it was quite an emphatic victory for Brazil. They took on the host Latvia. Can the hosts here in Valencia, Spain, can they make sure they qualify? The Bahamas, two different styles of basketball. You've got the big three, the Fantastic Four for the Bahamas, whatever you want to call it. It's a very much a showcase NBA style. It's exciting, it's fun to watch. But this is Spain we're talking about. This is going to be close.
Yeah, you know, obviously going into this game, Bahamas averaging over 90 points a game. They're the best scoring team in this competition. But you know what? They're going to go up against one of the best defensive teams, in my opinion. Spain, what they do, they go to a rotation and they tire you out by putting a lot of pressure on the defensive end, and that fatigues teams in a 40-minute game. They're both teams coming off a back-to-back. Coach Scariolo was a little disappointed with you know, the scheduling of this tournament. His team had to play 2 back-to-back games, but they had 2 days off to prepare for this back-to-back series right here. I think the bench of Spain is actually going to be the most important factor in this game if Spain want to come up with a win.
DeAndre Ayton, if he can stay out of foul trouble early on, and you know Spain's going to try to execute an offense to put him under pressure. The Spain action, any other ball screen you want to talk about, it's going to be dependent on how well these Bahamas players adapt to this kind of style. We've already seen them take down both Finland and Poland. And of course, against Lebanon, they had to work their money for it, but Spain ranked #2 in the world. Well, to all of our viewers watching live on Courtside 1891, welcome here to Valencia. The winner of this game will book their tickets to the Paris 2024 Olympics in Spain versus the Bahamas. Don't go anywhere as we are set for tip. Spain win the early tip, and now already looking to go down low to Willy Hernan Gomez. Got it by Munnings. Already a foul's gonna be called, and well, it's the early game plan right away.
Get the ball into your 2022 Eurobasket MVP. That's a tall matchup for Munnings, but you and I talked about Munnings and how good he has been for this Bahamas team.
Morel's Ned matching up man-to-man here with Lorenzo Brown. Brown finds Yule. Again, Hernan Gomez going in. Nice post move, getting the first 2 points. One thing the Bahamas have yet to try and battle with. Yes, they went up against both Spain and Finland, but having this home capacity crowd here in Valencia, 8,500 seats been sold already. That's Buddy Hield. First three goes up, and that's beautifully tucked away.
Buddy Hield.
The volume three-point shooting is something you're going to see here from the Bahamas. Spain going to that ball screen action. Will kicks this one out. Finds Xavi Lopez at Ustegi. Big offensive rebounds. Sergio Yule try three. Way up from offense. Santia Delma goes in for the follow-up. Back-to-back offensive rebounds given away by the Bahamas. Oh, Buddy Hield, the home crowd wanting a double dribble call, but now we're under 10 here on the shot clock. And penetrates. Oh, he's got to put up a mid-range, and again, cool as you like, right, DeAndre Ayton.
Good defensive possession for Spain the last couple times down, but the offensive power of this Bahama team taking the lead.
Brown pulls up in the mid-range. That one's not going to go. Bahamas leading by 1 point. Buddy Hield now looking to ISO. Pass up the Munnings, goes in reverse slab, and again, excellent execution by the Bahamas. Brown again, trying to find Hernan Gomez, but he telegraphed the pass, and another turnover. Spain looking a little bit frail here early on, Shona.
You know, we talked about it. Spain, obviously, they have been a fixture, in the last few Olympics. But that being said, not a single player on this team has ever been in a situation where they have to win a qualification tournament to participate in the Olympics.
Well, Spain qualified for the last Olympics by winning the 2019 FIBA Basketball World Cup. Foul's going to be called against Eric Gordon. Interesting, we've seen Gordon give away quite a few more fouls than this OQ team.
Yeah, just a little slow there on that help side rotation. And, you know, he does have quick hands. We've seen him slap the ball a few times and get away with it. Not away with it, but he had all ball that time. This Spanish team just maybe, especially Willy Hernan Gomez, a little bit too fundamental to bring the ball down and not get fouled.
Yes.
Hernan Gomez has been excellent from the free throw line in every game for Spain. And tonight it's got to be no different. If he's going to get fouled, he's got to make it count.
Yes.
Really makes them both. Spain trail by 1. Just under 3 minutes played here in the first quarter. Now Ayton trying to deal with a mismatch. The foul's going to be called. Well, Xavi Lopez at Ustegi, I don't think he should have too much argument with how he hands all over DeAndre Ayton.
I like the physicality, but as soon as that person starts to dribble, you got to take your hands off the offensive player.
Well, it could be a problem here for Spain if they go to a lot of 1 through 5 switching. Because as you mentioned, they like to play aggressive. Buddy Hield now looking for the ISO. Finds Munnings, misses last three. Again, can't hit another one. Spain looking to regain the lead. It's Lorenzo Brown trying to orchestrate the offense here in the half court. Brown now hesitates. Finds Willie, goes in. Again, big man inside the paint. Well, he's looking very aggressive early on. Now Gordon looking to go all the way. Gordon coast to coast. Oh, nobody was stopping him on that one. Both teams going back and forth early on. Trying to assert themselves here offensively. Spain lacking everything inside the paint at the moment. Brown off one screen. Now uses another one. This time and pull up from 15. Two good looks to Lorenzo Brown, but unable to capitalize. So, Shona, this is where I do feel Spain needs, from yesterday's game against Finland. They were up in the Finnish players' faces, very aggressive. I don't think they can play this similar style. The Bahamas are too quick.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking the exact same thing that you did. It's different going up against the Finnish team, be able to put full court pressure, maybe over pressure almost in the front court. These Bahamas players, like you said, if they get a step, they're going to go by you.
Well, there's a penetration by Buddy Hield. Case in point. Nice penetration.
Buddy Hield.
Bahamas lead by 3. And history in the balance here for the Bahamas. Eric Gordon switching everything. Trying to recover, and again, Lorenzo Brown struggled, but the putback still no good. And the Bahamas come up with it. And Lorenzo's got to find that rhythm. They heavily depend on him to make sure that he kick-starts things in the offense. Buddy Hield goes baseline, followed by Munnings. Well, turnover, good defense by Xavi Lopez. I don't think he... I suppose the good thing for Scariolo is, you know, certain players do get into foul trouble in the backcourt, that is. Not so much on Gomez, a lot of options.
And it's fine. Like you said, they have a lot of options like we're seeing coming now. You know, one of the best players in Europe, Alberto Diaz, checking into the game for them. He's someone that you can always rely on, especially defensively. We actually saw him have a great game against Finland. Knocked down 2 3-pointers back-to-back and really opened up that lead for Spain in their quarterfinal, in their semifinal, game.
Well, Alberto Diaz, one thing you should know about him, especially when he plays for Unicaja after winning the Basketball Champions League this season, he is an intense defender. Adama can tie it up and beautifully ices this one away. Very young backcourt here for the Bahamas. VJ Edgecombe along with Franco Miller Jr. Lines Ayton, he'll find the 3. That's not going to drop for the Bahamas. Spain looking to regain the lead. Now Brizuela trying to find space. Trying to pump fake, goes in, and that's going to be a traveling violation. Well, the Bahamas defense, very much unlike respectfully Poland and Finland. They will get right up in your faces. That's a good call.
Easy call by the referee. Picked up his pivot foot.
Well, there's a 3-pointer by Santi Adama. Got us all locked on at 11 apiece here. Remember, the winner will go to Paris, the 2024 Basketball Olympics. Go for the mid-range. Again, under intense pressure. Buddy Hield, no problem.
And what I like seeing from Buddy Hield right now, he's kind of let the other games come to him. This game, he has come out and set the tone offensively for this Bahamas team.
Spanish fans trying to rally behind their team, trying to give them just something a bit extra. Here's finds Brizuela. Has to put up again, it's going to be a low count. VJ Edgecombe just putting the slightest bit of contact there on Brizuela. And it's going to be 3 free throws.
Edgecombe, first, alcalde de la selección, descansa López Arostegui.
Let's have a look at the replay here.
nuestro capitán Rudy Fernández.
Well, from that angle, it does look tough, but I'm sure if we see it from a different angle, well, there's the mid-range taken by Buddy Hield. Brizuela, formerly of Unicaja, spent last season playing on the east coast of beautiful Spain for Barcelona. And there is his family, his child. Brizuela family in the building.
Yes. Venezuela, uno más.
It's interesting here with a game like this, we have two completely different styles of basketball. Do you think there's going to be a case where the team that gets to the free throw line the most tonight could have a better advantage?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I would say Spain have done an excellent job in this tournament, being aggressive, getting to the free throw line. Bahamas a little less because they are a run and gun three-point shooting team.
Spain going into a zone. DeAndre inside the paint, but again, this man will take it over. He will make the paint his domain. Still 2 points separates these two teams. Brizuela nowhere to go. Finds Garuba. And now Rudy. So got to make something happen. Time is winding down. And Dalman's got to put up a tough one. Garuba gets the offensive rebound. Rudy finds Diaz. He'll take the three. That's not going to drop. Bahamas looking to extend to a two-possession lead. A good defense by Garuba. Now Spain looking to capitalize. Dalma goes in. Finishes. Simply unstoppable. Two minutes left here in the first quarter. Both teams locked in at 15 apiece. Buddy Hield moves off the dribble. Three is up. No good. But the Bahamas will get it back. Down to Ayton. Got it by Santia Dalma. Ayton goes in. Jump hook. Didn't quite get it, but VJ Edgecombe with the offensive board. Now Ayton goes up. He'll finish it. Well, you've got to keep him off the offensive rebound, Shona.
Yeah, you do. Whoever is guarding VJ Edgecombe, you need to box that young man out.
Well, both teams going in for second chances. Adamo finds Garuba. Well, he doesn't take many shots, but well, 15 foot, why not? Well, Spain played the later game last night. The Bahamas, you could argue, maybe a few hours extra of rest. But that makes a little difference at this point. Hill got it by Fernandez. Edgecombe, left wide open. Three is up, back iron. Ayton offensive rebound. Tries another putback. And now Spain looking to regain the lead. Brizuela finds Diaz. Well, Franco Miller intercepts it, and he's going to give Bahamas a lead again. He'll go in. He misses the layup. But VJ Edgecombe's going to get called for the foul. Well, Shona got to use the backboard.
Missed opportunity there by Miller, and Edgecombe is going to pick up his second free throw. I like the aggressivity, but right here, Garuba has it. There's no reason to reach in. You already have one foul. Yeah, and that's tough. He's going to have to go to the bench, I think.
Well, here's Garuba from 15. Not known for his scoring, of course, but he offers a lot more for the Spanish national team. And look at Santia Dalma. Simple little finger roll going in transition. 24.8 seconds left. Spain will go for the final possession. Trailing by 2 points. Bahamas going into a zone. Now we're under 10 here for Brizuela. Down low to Garuba, goes in, gets rejected. Oh, what a block shot by Buddy Hield. 5 left here on the shot clock. Good reaction by Buddy Hield, but also good timing. Didn't want to pick up a foul there. Dalma's made 1-3. Now goes for another one. That one's not going to drop. Well, they don't get it off in time in the Bahamas. And Spain all locked in at 17 apiece here at the end of the first quarter. And interesting, that's the first time we've seen Jerome Burroughs play here at the FIBA OQT.
You know, he is actually the most experienced Bahamas player in the international game. Every time Bahamas have participated in competitions, he has been on that roster. And, you know, even going back and looking at his playing career, he has played the longest amount of years outside in Europe. So if there's anyone who kind of knows the European game and what this Spanish team likes to do, it would be Burroughs.
Well, of course, you look at the statistics, only one three-pointer coming for the Bahamas, and that was Buddy Hield. But now we're going to take a look at the best plays here from the first quarter. Well, I think the tempo was expected here. Both teams going back and forth, but, you know, Spain looking very dominant inside the paint with the 2022 FIBA Eurobasket Most Valuable Player.
You know what, Willy Hernan-Gomez, I am a big fan of his game. I have been for a while. He's not flashy. He maybe isn't going to make a lot of highlight reels. You're not going to really maybe see him poster someone, but it's when it comes to fundamentals, I would want every young kid to watch that man, his footwork, his hands, his finishes. He's someone you should imitate your game after.
Well, of course, Garuba coming in and playing good moments, good minutes here for Spain. But Dalma, Memphis Grizzlies. Of course, what a great summer be for him if he can help this team get to the Olympics. Here's one thing you have to appreciate about Spain. Everyone talks about the European half-court game, but, you know, teams like Spain, they play a very quick tempo. Not only do they play quick, but if they don't get a quick option, they play very intelligent. And that's something the Bahamas need to be worried about, is that if they turn it over, Spain will try to capitalize as quick as possible. Well, fans, use that QR code and download Courtside 1891. Download it on your tabloid, your smartphone, or your Android, and get all the best streams, schedules, and scores. Courtside 1891, the home of FIBA International Basketball. Oh, Victor Claver in the house, just enjoying the occasion. Another big-time legend in this part of Spain.
Olympian, plays here. A little NBA career as well.
Morel's Nan finding Hunter. Of course, Eric Gordon, the most experienced player here in terms of where he plays, but Nan almost turning it over. And they do just that. Now Spain looking to regain the lead. There's one all the way, avoids the block, but again, he can't make it.
Good job there by Burroughs. Went straight up, held his ground, and just affected the shot of Brizuela.
Gordon now being smothered on defense by Diaz. Gordon going all the way, draws a foul. Are you kidding me? Well, no.
Oh, he's not calling a continuation?
Well, no, they are going to review this. Well, they're going to talk. Kovzlaskis is talking this one over. Yeah, it counts. What a play by Eric Gordon.
You know, you mentioned it quickly, Josh, that Spain, you know, they're going to get up, they're going to pressure, especially a player like Hield, Gordon. But these guys are NBA quickness. It's a little bit different than what, you know, what they're used to normally playing at a Eurobasket. And nothing against a Eurobasket, but they do have a little bit more quickness, and I think they need to adjust. But someone like Eric Gordon, I mean, he's won the NBA three-point shooting contest. You got to get up and defend that three-point shot, which opens up drive lanes.
Oh, you're absolutely right. There's no doubt the NBA renowned for having the best individual basketball players on the world. There's no argument whatsoever. You know, team for that sake as well. But when you have a player like Alberto Diaz, who won the FIBA Basketball Champions League this past season, you know, he is used to playing that tempo. When you go against much better, talented individual players, you have to adapt your IQ at some point.
Absolutely, but this is where, you know, obviously Coach Scariolo has NBA experience. He knows how to talk to his players, and maybe, you know, he wanted to come out, set the tone defensively. We could see it change as this game goes on.
Well, Brizuela now loses balance. Still gets a shot up, but can't get it. And the associate head coach of Bowling Green State gets a rebound. Laurel's man. And another foul's gonna be called. Case in point, Shona. Gordon tried to go down the middle. Let's have a look here. Is this one on Brizuela or? Yeah, I think so.
Reach in on Brizuela.
Well, the home crowd getting into this one. Burris got it by Jaime Perdilla. Spain trying to be aggressive. Now Gordon heavily defended. And his face, step back three, and that is B-E-A. Beautiful by the 2017 NBA three-point champion. But now Rudy responds. Hey, anything you can do, I can do better, he says. Again, we mentioned this. Spain will push the tempo. They will play quick. Only 3 points of separation, and Burris is getting a call for the offensive foul. A legal screen for knocking over Alberto Diaz. A triple change coming in for the Bahamas. Both Buddy Hield and DeAndre Ayton returning to the floor at the moment. Look at this. Rudy run and gun in transition. Well, Kentuan Smith also subbing in for the Bahamas. Having recently played his pro basketball in Denmark for the Svendborg Rabbits. And Eric Gordon is now going to pick up his second personal foul. And Shona, we talked about this, the Bahamas, if they can stay out of foul trouble early on, especially the big three, this could be their game. Oh, Rudy trying to tie the game up. That one's way off the mark. DeAndre Ayton with a rebound. Buddy Hield trying to orchestrate things here. Double team comes over. Smith now finds Laurel's man. They stepped out of bounds. Wow. Williams just got away with that one. Now Gordon pump fakes. He'll pull up from 18. In and out, can't get it. As Buddy Hield, Bahamas get another chance. Gordon tries another three. This one's up, still no good. Oh, again, Gordon turning it over. Now here comes Spain. Fernandez finds Garuba. Garuba goes in. And he will go to the free throw line. Fernandez trying to get the crowd into this, trying to increase the ambience, the atmosphere. La Familia. Well, Garuba has had his struggles from the free throw line. We've seen this, whether it's in the Eurobasket, the FIBA Basketball World Cup. But anytime he makes his free throws, this is a plus, not only for him, but for everyone.
You mentioned it. I mean, they have scoring bigs, but Garuba not really known as a scorer. So anytime he can contribute on the offensive end, it really adds a little bit to the Spanish team's punch.
Oh, Garuba cutting it down to a 1-point ball game. And the tempo low scoring so far, but you have to appreciate how these two teams have come out here ready to battle for that ticket to the Olympics. Edge good baseline. Again, turns it over, good hands. Now Fernandez back to Garuba. Garuba step all the way and another foul. Well, the Bahamas turning it over, paying the price here in transition.
You know, 3-4 actions, Bahamas trying to penetrate against this aggressive defense by Spain, but it's the offside help people coming and just getting a hand on the ball. And that is also why they can put so much on-ball pressure, because they know if they get beat, they got help behind them.
Garuba, as we mentioned, currently playing for the Golden State Warriors. Obviously works very closely with Bahamas head coach Chris DeMarco. Makes another free throw. I don't know if we're going to see Juancho Hernan Gomez. Now remember, in the opening game against Angola, I believe it was a groin injury that he sustained. And, you know, it's been a worry of concern definitely for Scariolo as Spain regained the lead. Edgecombe now in the backcourt, got it by the experienced Lorenzo Brown. Now DeAndre Ayton goes for the fadeaway, rolls its way in and out, but Edgecombe comes up with at least one, and the tip-in is good. 18 years old, going in for second chances.
Averages just a little over 2 offensive rebounds a game.
Hernandez got it by Munnings. Time winding down here for Garuba. Rudy penetrates. Little teardrop. He gets out one to rattle in as Spain regain the lead. It's becoming a roller coaster of emotions. Both teams back and forth. Now Edgecombe hesitates, goes in, gets rejected. Well, big time block by Garuba. And now here comes Spain. And they could have got something quickly. And now they're gonna have to regroup in the half court. Now pump fakes. Now under 10 the shot clock. Lorenzo goes in with a too-strong floater.
And this is first couple jump shots. Looked a little hesitant on that last take, Lorenzo Brown.
Late and heavily defended. Now going up against Garuba. Bit of contact, but he doesn't get the ad one. But he will go to the free throw line while Garuba, the previous play down the other end. What a big time block he had. Well, Edgecombe's like, hey, I got this. And Garuba just said, no en mi casa. Get out of here. I'll see you in the NBA soon, but for now, you're not welcome. Big time block. Well, timeout's gonna be called. These two teams will talk it over as Spain have a 1-point lead here in the first half.
If we run flat, you said it, to get the guy onto the ball handler.
Hit him.
Hey, ball handler, don't move until he sets it.
Hey, this is what they do. They're going to fall over every time. Make sure we set screens and wait for it on the ball screens, all right? You guys are doing a good job defensively. Make them shoot tough floaters and twos. DA cleaning up everything at the rim. Keep taking away their three-point shots, but be disciplined on our closeouts. We don't want to foul a three-point shooter. All right, we're in flat. Buddy or BJ going to handle. Whoever Yule or Hernandez is on is going to set it, and DA, you're in the dunker. We got it? All right, let's play. Yule.
Get on the 1, 2, 3.
Of course, defense seems to be okay here for the Bahamas, but offensively, last few minutes hasn't quite gone into their rhythm.
Yeah, they've gone away. I think Buddy Hield needs to take over, set a screen with Ayton. I think every time you get DeAndre Ayton anywhere near the basket, let him go to work. Let him go against Garuba. Usually good things happen. But Spain, in my opinion, I mean, considering you and I have watched Bahamas play 3 games already, we watched them last summer against Argentina. You were able to watch them in that pre-friendly tournament in Greece. They haven't been able to get out and run, really, just yet. You know, we haven't seen a lot of transition, semi-transition threes put up by the Bahamas.
Well, the story of the Bahamas has been interesting. Go back to the very first ever qualification window for the 2019 FIBA Basketball Cup. That goes back to 2017. The Bahamas trying to put a group of players together to be competitive. They found it tough. Jerome Burroughs was a part of that team. Quentin Smith, a team, as I mentioned, they've only ever played in one major FIBA tournament. As Garuba with another top block. Well, he is just protecting the rim at all costs. But, you know, to think for the Bahamas, to never have played in a World Cup, but to have one game away from the Olympics, that's one hell of a story. Well, Fernandez, down low to Garuba. Garuba twisting, goes for a turnaround. Yeah, too easy for Garuba. Buddy Hield trying to go to that bull screen. Puts him a tough three. That's just way off the mark. Spain looking to extend to a 2-possession lead. Now Brown goes down the middle. Well, Garuba hasn't taken a three here in the tournament, but maybe just a bit too much adrenaline going there.
Feeling it.
Moniz now draws a foul here against Lorenzo Brown, and that's going to be the final team foul for Spain to give away here in the second quarter. While Garuba getting a standing ovation here from the home crowd. It's now Willy Hernan-Gomez back in. Oh, look at the post move. Aiden doesn't even attempt to block it.
I think he really expected Garuba to go up, but he had to because shot clock was winding down as well.
Hill now goes for another three. Three is up. Again, missing his last two. Padilla goes up, and again, the tempo of Spain's transition punishing the Bahamas. Biggest lead of the game now for Spain, and it's only 4 points. Edgecombe calls a screen. Bumps, no foul called. They turn it right back over. This time it is called. Well, Chris DeMarco was infuriated, Shona. He felt VJ Edgecombe should have gone to the free throw line on the first attempt.
I can kind of understand. I think there was a lot of body and then arm on his first shot attempt, but good job by the young man sticking with it, getting the loose ball, and drawing a foul.
Well, Xabi Lopez Arostegui checking back into the game for Spain. 2 free throws for the young 18-year-old. This is going to be a big season next year for him when he goes to Baylor. Already the noise he's been making from his performances in this FIBA OQT, I think everybody is going to have their eyes locked in on Baylor next season in the NCAA.
If people had not heard of VJ Edgecombe before this tournament, I can guarantee you they have now.
Well, Edgecombe's free throws, cutting it down a 2-point ball game. And Lorenzo Brown just invited into a 3-pointer. There was no defense shown around him whatsoever. They now go behind the back. Goes up from 15, the Bahamas struggling for field goals. And here comes Spain. Oh. Bit of a coming together between Willy Hernan-Gomez and DeAndre Ayton, but play continues. 6 on the shot clock for Sergio. Will pulls up a 3, high arc. He can't get it. Goes out of bounds. Now, I think the argument here is it did go out of bounds. I don't know if they've called an out of bounds or a 24-second violation. I think that touched the rim.
I think it might have gone off of Xabi Lopez. I mean, you know, Coach Scariolo, he could use his coach's challenge.
And I think he's just been given a warning. And it's only hyped this crowd up a little bit more. 5-point lead to Spain. Bahamas. So far, 11 points here in the second quarter. Edgecombe penetrates. Kicks out, finds Buddy Hield. Another 3. This one's good.
That was better offense. You mentioned it. They've struggled to knock down field goals in the last few minutes of this quarter. Penetrate the overpressure on the defensive end. Take care of the ball on your penetration and find your shooters.
Well, Lorenzo Brown might be struggling from the mid-range, but he's feeling the confidence here from the perimeter. Back-to-back 3-pointers for Lorenzo. to a 5-point ball game. Buddy Hield attacks. Good defense. Now Spain looking to push. Well, Lorenzo's made 2. Canny made 3. This man is simply a fuego. And now Chris DeMarco pulls timeout as Spain have an 8-point lead with 1:50 to go in the first half. Shona, just listen to these fans. On Croatia, while tonight a big one over in Puerto Rico, as Puerto Rico will be taking on Lithuania. Already Lorenzo Brown scoreless in the first quarter, but now 9 points, all coming from the perimeter and all coming here in the last few minutes.
I'd say about in the last minute and 10 seconds.
Well, there is one legend, one Mr. Pau Gasol. Lejkin just trying to keep this one alive. Nowhere to go now. He's got to kick it out. Buddy Hield goes for a Hail Mary 3.
And that's definitely not the kind of offense you want to see if you're Coach DeMarco out of a timeout.
They go for another double high screen here for Lorenzo Brown. He's made 3 threes. Can't get a 4th one. Bahamas have to build momentum. We've got just over a minute left here in the first half. Now Gordon fakes a pass. He's unable to get it. Again, nothing dropping now here for the Bahamas. Spain potentially could go 2 for 1. They have enough time. Now Lorenzo, 6 seconds left. Trying to find Sergio Llull. Got it by Gordon. Step back, goes for a Hail Mary. Are you kidding me? Sergio, that one came down with snow on it. And that leaves 5 seconds difference between game and shot clock now for Spain. They get one more stop here, they can extend their lead. Now Munning, he'll fire a 3, and that will just calm down the nerves for the Bahamas players. It's now Sergio Scariolo will call timeout with 12.5 left here in the first half. Oh, again, Shona, look at this. I mean, this was out of nowhere.
How many times have we seen Sergio Llull put up a shot like that last second? You know, if there's a go-to guy, I think it has to be Lorenzo Brown, but throughout his career, it has been Sergio Llull knocking down those kinds of shots.
Well, they played in the London Olympics, the Rio Olympics, also played for Spain in the Tokyo Olympics. Let's listen now to Scariolo. Well, Spain have 12.5. Jorge Garbajosa, former Spanish professional basketball legend and current president of the federation. Victor Claver also in the house here. Good legends. Well, that man, Sergio, you'll play with all those guys. Bahamas don't want to foul. Spain want to go into the halftime break with a double-digit lead. Gill now goes for another fadeaway. This one's up, and that one's not going to drop. Basketball fans watching live on courtside 1891. It is indeed an 8-point lead to Spain. We have one more half left to decide who is going to the Paris Olympics. Well, Spain turning things around here big time. What a high-scoring second quarter we had.
Yeah, 25 points to 17. And really it was defensively. I think they started to frustrate the Bahamas, and it wasn't, Bahamas settled for some shots. But the biggest issue, I think, in that quarter was the Bahamas. They were penetrating, and they weren't strong enough with the ball, and Spain just getting touches, hands. Maybe they weren't coming up with the steals necessarily, but then they were taking Bahamas out of their speed and rhythm to the basket. The passes were off, shot clock was winding down. They had to put up tough shots.
Well, there are your stats so far. Buddy Hield leading the scoring for the Bahamas, followed up by Eric Gordon and DeAndre Ayton. Well, Lorenzo Brown with his 3 3-pointers in that second quarter, the space of, I think, 3 minutes, actually. He now leads the way for Spain. There's the head-to-head between the two bigs. DeAndre Ayton, 3 points and 1 rebound away from a potential double-double. But, you know, Willie Hernangomez, we didn't see him feature much after his first few minutes in the first quarter.
Yeah, both of these players, they're great bigs. I think if I'm the Bahamas, what's more worrying is I got to get the ball inside to Ayton. I think he needs to have more than 7 points at halftime. Yeah, he's taken 8 shots, but they haven't been bad shots. Go ahead, get the ball inside to him. When the double comes, which we have seen it come, he's going to kick it out. He's not going to force a bad shot. Willie Hernangomez, I mean, he started great. He did exactly what they needed, and all they needed to do was have someone defend him, help side come. That was going to open up the perimeter, and that's what we saw with the likes of Lorenzo Brown. 2 of Lorenzo Brown's 3-point shots were from Willie Hernangomez setting him an on-ball screen.
Because I really felt where Spain asserted themselves, where they really built that dominant run, was down to Rudy Fernandez. When he came in and sort of set the tone in the second quarter, Spain just went to a new level. Then it became contagious. Lorenzo Brown's 3 3-pointers. But this is going to be an exciting second half.
I mean, it's going to be a great second half. They're trailing by 9. That's not a bad position to be in. I don't think they had a great third quarter. I think they need to do a little bit more defensively, which will lead to some of those fast shots, fast scores that we've seen Bahamas do all tournament long.
Well, of course, Spain setting the tempo. This is one thing I love about Spain. You make mistakes, they'll make you pay in transition. But in the case of the Bahamas, you make buckets, Spain will still make you pay. They are so quick at getting the ball up the floor.
I mean, the way they're playing, they are playing energized. This is the fastest we have seen Spain play. This is the best defense that they have put on so far, holding Bahamas 34 points a game. This Bahamas team averages over 90 points a game in this tournament. They only have 34 at halftime.
Well, we'll see you for the second half. We'll be back in just over 12 minutes.
Education, health, justice. We sometimes take these simple things for granted. They're not common for all of us. We are all born on the same planet, but not with the same opportunities.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are one. We are all on the same team. Let's convince those who never thought they would do it that they can. We can. Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin, basketball can bring everyone together. Basketball for good.
Finishing with the 2. Waters deep 3. Shot that from Bayamon. Hello.
Trying to find Buddy Hield. There's the alley-oop, and good night. DeAndre Ayton, that's what I call dominated. That puts a smile on VJ Edgecote's face. Close. Good defense. Now here comes, well, here we go. 17 years old, Mika Murden, the Susi Yankee.
Marcelinho Caboclo with the slam. Chagas. Mendes. Oh, Amber beats him. My word. Not today. Valtinch, Sonics, Mendes, Gomash, Bertans, corner, 3!
That's what a hot hand is. Condon down the lane! George Condon pounding it home! And the three, oh boy, what a way to finish the quarter. Sabonis with the poster finish.
They can tire teams out. Maybe it'll be close for half the game, 30 minutes, but 40-minute game, they really have an advantage.
Down the pump fake, first step. Oh, my goodness! But look at this. Santi Adalma. Que pasa, amigo? Fake the dunk. Do you call that a baby windmill? What do you call this? What did we just witness?
That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
Respira, siéntete libre. Ven, sígueme. Este escenario es increíble.
a scoring option here for at any stage, they could go on a run, and that could be a problem for Spain.
Well, you know, coaches always talk about that first 5 minutes to begin the third quarter. Right now, I think the Bahamas, they need to try and play their style of basketball offensively, but can they do it on the defensive end, or is this powerful team that we're seeing from Spain offensively going to be too much for them?
Well, that QR code, download courtside 1891 to follow all the best live international basketball. Remember, courtside 1891, the home of FIBA International Hoops. Well, it will be Spain who have the first possession. With the lineup of Sergio Llull, Lorenzo Brown, Santi Adalma, Xavi Lopez Arostegui, and Willy Hernan Gomez. Well, the Bahamas having Laurel's man, as he mentioned, a current associate head coach at Bowling Green State. Llull coming off one screen. Avoids the block with the follow-up by Hernan Gomez.
Do you think that shot by Sergio Llull was on purpose? He knew that Hernan Gomez was following that rebound?
It's very possible.
Half an assist.
Now they go down to Aiden. Trying to face up here against Hernan Gomez. Goes in for the reach. But the Bahamas diving on the floor. Time winding down. Buddy Hield has to make a choice. Penetrates, avoids a block, and a tough move by Buddy Hield. Still single digits. Bahamas looking to get a stop. Spain looking to carry on here. Now Llull comes off the screen, finds another three. Hield in and around the defense. Bunnings has had his troubles, but again, struggling here in the second half. Lorenzo for the mid-range. Now he's got it after his 3 3-pointers. The 15-foot pull-up jump shot working for Lorenzo Brown. 11 points for Brown here in the game. Hield, tough three-pointer, not clicking here at the moment. Spain with their biggest lead, trying to push even further. Well, Hernan Gomez spins out, draws a foul. He'll go back to the free throw line.
Personal foul, Bahamas, DeAndre Ayton, first.
It's like the old school Shaquille O'Neal spin out baseline.
That's what I meant. That's when I talk about Willie Hernan Gomez. He is old school fundamentals basketball player.
Goes back to the free throw line. Here's another look at the move by Buddy Hill, but we're not going to see it here. Just gets the first free throw to rattle in. Hernan Gomez, he's been excellent tonight here from the charity stripe. Takes them both. Biggest lead of the game now for Spain. Huge test here for the Bahamas. Gordon goes for a quick three, and again, nothing but net.
It's a good shot, and he's very capable of making those shots, but the fact that no one else is touching the ball offensively, this is why Spain can get into their defensive defense. Their sets, you know. You got to make Spain move so they can't get into those help side situations. That is going to open up the driving lanes for the Bahamas.
Relsnan trying to get up in the face of Lorenzo Brown, but he's going to go to the bench, take a breather. Another look at that three-pointer by Gordon. And here's that shot he took that. Was it a shot, or was it a lob off the backboard? Brown hesitates. Down to Willie Hernan Gomez. Trying to bump, tough move. He's unable to finish. And here come the Bahamas. Gets inside the key, goes in, they're gonna call an offensive foul. Well, that's gonna be DeAndre Ayton's. Wow, Spain are calling for, they felt was a violent act there. I'm not quite sure, I couldn't see it. That's gonna be his second personal. Let's have a look at the replay.
I actually think he avoided. I'm not sure if you can really even call that an offensive foul because he didn't take it straight on his chest, you know? But the referees disagree with me. That's why I'm here and they're there.
Well, we got three of the very best. Martin Skovslaskis coming from Latvia, Boris Krajic from Slovenia, and Johnny Batista from Puerto Rico. Just under 3 minutes played here in the third quarter. Spain still have a 9-point lead. Got it by Edgecombe. Edgecombe now not allowing Brown to get anything inside the key. Adalma. It's up a circus shot, can't get it. And the Bahamas push. Nice transition, finds Munnings. And that might be the most beautiful transition of the conversion from a turnover to fast break points. And who gets the assist? The 18-year-old.
The youngin'.
Brown now in the key. And he just gets it to roll in. Bahamas still down by 9. The foul's going to be called against Sergio Llull, and that's going to be his second personal. First team foul against Spain here in the third quarter. Scariolo just having a few words, but I don't think he can argue that one. Look at this move by Lorenzo Brown. Xabi Lopez Arostegui being very physical, Buddy Hield. And Boris Krajic doing a good job of just getting in between them and telling them, hey, come on, good game. Olympics is on the line. Well, Gordon hesitates, goes in, but he misses the layup. And another foul against VJ Edgecombe. It's going to be VJ Edgecombe's third personal. Well, you love the hesitation by Eric Gordon, but showing he's got to make that one.
Yeah, he does. You saw the disappointment on his face, but more importantly, third foul of VJ Edgecombe. They do not have a big bench. They go to their bench, the Bahamas, but they don't have the same kind of productivity on the offensive end when they go to their bench. So, well, he's going to stay in the game. Coach says, you know what? I got to take the risk.
Spain a chance to go back to double digits. Now Brown goes baseline, pulls up again for 10. Look good. Oh, Hill loses his balance, and now here comes Lorenzo Brown. Munnings goes up. It's gonna be two. That's worrying. Well, no, I think he's gonna be okay.
Personal foul, Bahamas, Munnings.
Here's the loss of balance by Buddy Hield and Lorenzo Brown. Now, if he misses one of these free throws, you're gonna have to say it's a good foul by Munnings at least. If he misses.
If he misses. Hasn't gone to the free throw line here tonight.
Yes.
Lorenzo Brown makes the first one. Still no Juancho Hernan Gomez. Remember, picked up that injury in the opening game against Angola. Of course, if they do qualify for the Olympics, they'll have enough time to recover, but it does depend on the degree and the severity of his injury, which we still are very unaware of at the moment.
No, that's what Coach Sergio Scariolo was saying. You know, we haven't really even had the chance to test him because we haven't had real practices either because you're preparing for the game.
Oh, Gordon penetrates. No foul call, but the follow-up. Oh, VJ Edgecombe. That's what they need from him. Second chances are going to be crucial for the Bahamas. He does have 3 fouls. Oh, Lopez on Ostagi, and that's going to be his 4th. Oh, he's going to have to leave the game.
Personal foul, Bahamas, Edgecombe, 4.
Well, what happened? Who was defending Xabi Lopez at Ostagi?
I think it was the help side that came over. They had to take Willie Hernan Gomez on that little short roll, and that just left Xabi Lopez open underneath the basket.
Well, again, they're going to have to probably bring him back in the 4th quarter. Xabi Lopez at Ostagi plays his basketball here in the ACB for Valencia. He's part of the 2022 Championship Eurobasket team. Makes them both.
Xabi Lopez at Ostagi, 2.
Eight now looking to attack. Nowhere to go. Outside the key goes in, and they needed those 2 points. And things getting a little bit tense between both players. Why not? The Olympics are on the line. Nice move by DeAndre Ayton. He's 1 point away from getting that double-double. As Eric Gordon goes to the bench, Laurel's Ned coming in to give this team a bit of balance, a little bit of composure in the backcourt. The Bahamas still trail by 9. Capacity crowd at 8,500 plus. The Bahamas have already put Spain in the penalty. They cannot afford to pick up any more fouls. Good defense by Laurel's Nan. Now finds Fernandez. To force something up. And that's going to be a 24-second violation. Good defense by the Bahamas. Well, the home crowd trying to rally behind their team. But the Bahamas will get a chance to try and chip into the deficit. Miller Jr. coming in to play point guard. Travis Munnings along with Laurel's Nan and Buddy Hield in the backcourt. No pump fakes. Steps through, 3's up, no good. Going to counter very quickly. Another foul, so this is poor for the Bahamas. Now they're going to just keep sending Spain to the free throw line, Shona.
Yeah, not what you want to do, Spain. Being aggressive with the ball. And you know what I think is frustrating for these Bahama players? They feel like they're doing exactly what is being done to them when they're on offense and Spain is on defense. So I understand a little bit of the frustration and why they feel that way, but Spain, 83% free throw shooting team in this competition. You don't want to see them go to the line a lot this last 4 minutes in the third quarter.
I mean, the Bahamas game plan, they're only 5 out of 17 from the perimeter. If it doesn't start clicking from downtown, it could be a problem for them. Back to an 11-point ball game. Eight now looking to attack. And a foul is going to be called against Willy Hernan Gomez. That's only his first personal foul of the game. That's good by DeAndre Ayton, trying to attack the basket, get inside the key areas and put Spain under pressure. Checks back in for Spain. Well, 3:48 to go here in the third quarter. Spain want to join Brazil, but so do the Bahamas. They're going to turn this around. They got to make a run. Eight inside the key, goes up, and this guy now has his double-double. 11 points and 10 rebounds for DeAndre Ayton. Spain's going back to that ball screen. You'll find Diaz wide open. Doesn't get the three. Almost turns it over, but the Bahamas will get it back. Change coming in. I mean, he has such a high release. It's almost impossible to contest it.
Double-double for DeAndre Ayton already in this game. He's doing everything he possibly can to try and help his team pull off. It would be the biggest upset in their small basketball history, really.
Well, Franco Miller penetrates. Nowhere to go. Laurel's Nan fighting for loose balls. And another foul is going to be called against Laurel's Nan. And Spain will go back to the free throw line. Well, this is the frustrating part for the Bahamas. By putting Spain early into the penalty, any of these unnecessary fouls you pick up, I mean, this is what's keeping Spain ahead by double digits, essentially.
Yes.
As Rudy Fernandez makes the first one. Well, just an update for you. Greece have qualified for the Olympics. The victory over Croatia means that now Greece, along with Brazil, have booked their way on the road to Paris. Two more teams will join them tonight. Well, Franco Miller Jr. throws it away, and now here comes Spain, leading by 11 points. And led by as many as 12. Bruzuela tries to dissect the defense. Diaz now goes baseline. Now Bruzuela with a fadeaway three. It's up, and it's good. Now it's a 14-point lead for Spain. Well, those two used to be teammates at Unicaja in Malaga. Now Ayton goes in. It's a bump. He's able to finish that one. Good response by DeAndre Ayton. Bahamas has got to get this to single digits, at least before the fourth quarter. finds Rudy. Rudy now kicks out. Brizuela, another fadeaway. And that is...
Well, I think this crowd would have been on their feet, but I'm pretty sure it was a good call by the referee. Yeah, easy call by the referee.
Well, great job by Johnny Batista, a referee from Puerto Rico. Phenomenal job. And you know what? Credit to Johnny Batista. He made a big call, which I thought was phenomenal at the end of the game. As you see the replay here, Brizuela's three-pointer. Finland were down by 6. And Finland thought that Maxuni had been fouled on the three-pointer, when actually it was Alexander Madsen. Well, listen to this timeout.
Hey, listen, we're going to go slice snap. Eric, I want you to handle. Bring it up. Tom, you're right here. DA's right here. Travis, yo. Believe. No, hold on. Bring it up. Swing it to Trav. DA, set this. Catch one. Fly off. Travis, go back to EG. DA, you're going to post up here. We hit you. Don't just fly off. Screen, my nigga. You see him bumping? Come behind you. All right? Yeah. No, after we go to work, man, we come, we get space. Get a stop. We're not too
Well, over 8,500 spectators here tonight in Valencia. What an occasion it's been for the 2024 FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament. At the moment, it is Spain who lead this one by 12 points. 1:47 to go here in the third quarter. Now, going back to our referees, talking about Johnny Batista, he made, which I felt was the right call yesterday, the three-pointer from Maxuni for Finland. Finland felt they were going to the free throw line for 3 shots, but it wasn't Maxuni was fouled. It was indeed Alexander Madsen, and Finland went in the penalty. And a big shout out to our 3 referees, Martins Kozlovskis, Johnny Batista, and Boris Krajic. Well, they got it by Garuba. Trying to go for the ISO, turnaround, it's up, and again, he is automatic.
They need to take care of the ball. They need to set away screens, get DeAndre Ayton the ball somewhere around that short corner position and let him go to work.
Bahamas in a matchup. Nice backdoor by Pradilla, goes in, finishes. Well, Munnings just got caught on that backdoor play. Bahamas want to get this to 10 or lower before going to the 4th. Well, the handoff, you knew it was coming. And Morel's Nan gets it right back. Munnings is going to slow this one down. Spain have 2 fouls to give. As Gordon tries to go in. Another foul on the ground. Well, the home crowd. Definitely the right call for sure. Baseline possession, nice backdoor play by Jaime Pradilla. So they're trying to find Ayton. They now going up against Garuba. Down low finds Buddy Hield. The triple team came, and he reacts so well.
That's what's going to start to happen if they get the ball to Ayton. I said it before, the beginning of the game, he's not going to take bad shots. He will find the open player. Get the ball inside to him, run your offense around him. That's going to open up easy baskets for the other players.
Brizuela pump fakes. Goes him to float. A nice move by Dario Brizuela. Final seconds in for the Bahamas. They've got to go quick. Morel's Nan. Forcing a tough 3, it's up, and it's good. And what a way to end the third quarter. Well, he felt it should have been a 4-point play, but the man who spent last season playing pro basketball in Denmark for the Svendborg Rabbits, Kentuan Smith with the clutch. Bit of hope for the Bahamas, Shona.
Yeah, you mentioned it right before that possession. You said you don't want if the Bahamas can get it to 10 points or under, they have to feel okay going into the 4th quarter, and that's exactly what they've done. They're trailing by 9. The thing is, they had a pretty good quarter, 22 points, but Spain scored 23. Everything that the Bahamas does well, Spain seems to do a little bit better. And those 22 points, none of them came easily. The 23 points by Spain, you felt like they were getting easy looks, they were getting open looks, and they were knocking them down.
Well, there are your stats from the third quarter. The Bahamas only making that one three-pointer in the third quarter coming from Cantor Smith. But now we're going to go back and look at the big plays from the third quarter.
But you know what, the thing is, this Bahamas team, when they get hot, when they get an opportunity to run, they can knock down threes, they can score points very, very quickly. Spain, hats off to them. They've done a great job defensively, taking the Bahamas away from what they are excellent at doing offensively. But I do think 10 minutes is a long time, especially for a team who could score a lot and score quickly for the Bahamas.
Well, as you mentioned, it's a wave of momentum that the Bahamas need to build. They need a few stops, they need a few transition plays, and if they can add a bit more from the perimeter, I mean, they can easily come back. You know, defensively, they're gonna have to figure out how to stop any form of a pick and roll in the offense of Spain.
Yeah, you mentioned it. They gotta figure out what they wanna do on the pick and roll, because right now, the guards are scoring, the bigs are rolling, they're scoring, they're finding the extra player. They have that one possession of zone, and here we see the nice backdoor cut by Padilla. You got to take away something by Spain, and right now the Bahamas are not able to do that.
Well, that was a three-pointer by Cantor Smith. Now, my apologies. I mentioned he played for the Svenborg Rabbits. He did do that. That was 2 seasons ago. He swapped over to play for BC Lilea in the Swedish league. So, of course, has enjoyed many great years of playing professional basketball in Scandinavia. Well, Hild heavily defended. Well, Smith now pulls up in the mid-range. That's up, too short. Okay, Spain just need to control the tempo here in the fourth and final 10 minutes. Nice penetration by Brizuela. Avoids the block, but still gets it. Oh, Aiton was ready to pin him. But the high floater coming from Dario Brizuela. The foul's going to be called against Alberto Diaz. VJ Edgecombe coming back into the game for the Bahamas. Remember, he does have 4 fouls. Look at this. That is a Fango roll.
That is a big-time move.
He's down 11. Edgecombe now. Straight off the bench, under 10 here. Pass. Smith made 1 3. He's unable to get this. And a technical foul is going to be called on the Spanish bench. And Scariolo infuriated. Well, Xavi Lopez-Arostegui was on his feet. I don't know what he said, but...
You know, you're not allowed to be standing up on the bench while a play is happening. So easy call by the referee, I think.
Now the thing they're talking about here at the moment is who gets the possession after the free throw, because the rebound went up. They've decided to give it back to Spain. Now that may be, that isn't due to the possession arrow, because...
Yeah, no, it is due to the possession arrow. Yeah, Bahamas. See, right there. You can't be behind the bench yelling at an offensive player on the other team.
Well, Buddy Hield and chance to cut it down to a 10-point ball game. He's able to convert the free throw. Spain will get this back. Just under 9 minutes for Bahamas to save this and make history. But under 9 minutes for Spain to get back to yet another Olympics. It's that zone defense. Down to Padilla, goes in, misses it. Garuba gets the offensive putback is good. Oh, do the Bahamas need to play zone?
You know, that possession was zone. Biggest thing in zone is trying to box out.
Well, Edgecombe turns it over. Bahamas making some errors. Brizuela, quick three. It's up, no good. Now secured by DeAndre Ayton. And another foul called against Alberto Villas. And that's going to be his third personal, I believe.
Tercera falta personal del jugador español Alberto Díaz.
Garuba, at that point, that's what he's in there for. His points have been monumental tonight here for Spain. Gordon attacks. Almost threw it away. And it's another Bahamas turnover. Right now, nothing going in favor for the Bahamas.
That's their 14th turnover in this game. And a lot of it has to do with the physicality by this Spanish team.
I just felt on that previous play, Eric Gordon probably could have gone up for the layup instead of trying to kick it out to VJ Edgecombe. Now this one's going to be called against Gordon. That's his third personal. The only player with 4 fouls in this game is VJ Edgecombe.
Gordon, third.
But again, we saw what happened when Spain were aggressive and drawing fouls in the third quarter. They got to go to the free throw line from 4 minutes left in that quarter. And with such a good free throw shooting team, you don't want to give them easy baskets.
12-point lead to Spain. Trying to build on that lead. The most they've led by as many as 14. Goes out of bounds. The Bahamas will get it back. Another change coming in for Scariolo. Brizuela will take a breather. And Sergio Llull coming back in. And Xabi Lopez out off the gi coming back in. As Rudy Fernandez takes a breather. A bit of arguing going on between Rudy Fernandez and Dario Brizuela. They have a 12-point lead. Finds Boris, goes in. Wow, that's his first field goal of the 2024 FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament. The most experienced player in international basketball for the Bahamas. Remember, Edgecombe's got 4 fouls. They can test this one. And that's a veteran's move.
That is definitely a veteran's move.
Gordon gets bumped, goes in, gets the and one. And that one's going to be against Xabi Lopez out off the gi. Look at this. I mean, he is as strong as a bull. You're not knocking him down, but look at the veteran play. Getting the roll. Well, first field goal. I mean, he represented the Bahamas at the very first window of the 2019 FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. 35 years young. He'll keep playing. Tough as nails, Jerome Burroughs. As Gordon converts the three-point play back to single digits. Well, Adama just landed awkwardly on his heel. Now they find Xabi Lopez. Back to Sergio Llull. Another ball screen coming. Llull fakes it. Nowhere to go here. He's going to have to force this one up. Fades away. That's going to be a 24-second violation. 6:29 to go, Shona. And Adama looks like he's still in some pain.
How about that defense by Alberto Diaz? Can't even get the ball to Buddy Hield.
Oh, baby goes in with the alley-oop. And DeAndre dominating, connects with it. 7-point ball game. Dalma, wide open, goes up. Ankle injury? I don't think so.
What a tournament that man has been having. 10 points now for Aldama. It's been a quiet night for him, but he has been one of their most consistent players throughout this tournament.
Well, for sure, fatigue is a big factor here. The depth in these two teams, much greater. DeAndre Ayton trying to go in the paint. Again, can't get anything. And another foul committed. Just listen to the 8,500 plus here in Valencia. It's the static offense here from the Bahamas. I mean, right now, nothing clicking for them from the perimeter. And if you're going to rely on, I mean, first of all, you've got to defend Spain. You can't just give them wide open looks. At the same time in the offense, if you're going to give the ball to DeAndre Ayton, if he doesn't have the ISO shown it, you got to help him out. Here's the alley-oop replay.
Yeah, you know, you heard him tell Edgem there on that last possession, hey, you got to get out and give me space. You got to get the ball inside to your best player, but you have to move around when he has the ball so defense can't set up.
Well, good hands by Ayton. Bahamas get it back. Just on the halfway plate here in the fourth quarter. Gordon goes all the way, finishes. They can't get it, and Gordon's on the ground. Looks like he's in some pain. I'm not sure if he made contact with the advertisement board, but they need him for these next 4 minutes and 59 seconds. It's now or never here for the Bahamas.
You said it, you don't want to see a player and a scorer like Eric Gordon have to go to the bench. I like him being aggressive, I like him attacking. Maybe missed a couple opportunities for a little 2-point layup bucket. And looks like maybe he just got a Charlie horse, knee to the thigh.
Well, tough as nails, Eric Gordon looks like he's gonna play on. It doesn't seem like the Bahamas are gonna make any change. Here's a look into the replay. Ouch. Side of the ribs into the... Lorenzo Brown coming back in for Spain. Well, Brown straight off the bench. Three is up. Three is good. 13-point lead. Well, they're not aggressive enough on defense, Shona.
No.
Now Edgecombe pulls up inside the key, and that cuts it back down to 11. The Bahamas have got to stop giving Spain so many high percentage looks from the three-point line. As Buddy Hield reaches in, that's going to be the third team foul against the Bahamas. Both teams, one foul to give with 4:26 left. Rudy Fernandez comes back in. Look at the replay. Fourth three-pointer of the game for Lorenzo Brown. Had his struggles yesterday against Finland. Struggled early in the first quarter, but he's found his rhythm from the three-point line. Now Brown finds Yule. Switch on defense. Has a kick out. Sergio downtown, big three. Can't get it, but the tip-in is good by Santia Dalma.
And defense, Bahamas, they need to try and take away open looks. That was a good look by Sergio Yule.
Now Buddy Hield finds Edgecombe. Edgecombe penetrates, bumps in. The foul's gonna be called against Willy Hernan Gomez. So 2 free throws for the young 18-year-old.
Segunda falta personal del jugador español, Willy Hernan Gómez. Tiempo muerto.
Well, timeout's going to be called. Here's a three-pointer by Sergio, but they forgot to box out Santi Dalma. Well, these are going to be the biggest 3 minutes and 51 seconds for these two teams in the FIBA OQT. Spain had the lead, with the Bahamas Is it fatigue?
You know, I mentioned it. I think this Spanish team, no real superstars, but they have players any given day, and it can be a different player throughout the game, throughout the quarter, or if that's your day, they're going to roll with it. They are just so deep. And right now you have, this is Rudy Fernandez. This is almost vintage Rudy Fernandez. What he's doing defensively, moving. He's like a dog to a bone on the defensive end. You have Sergio Yul, who looks like he's fresh. He's ready to compete, even though he's a veteran, trying to get back at another Olympics. You have Willy Hernan Gomez, 2022 FIBA Eurobasket MVP. But then you have people check into the game. Diaz, one of the best on-ball defenders in the European game right now. Garuba, how big has he been for this Spanish team? Everyone who comes in, their goal is a defensive matchup, a defensive assignment, but then they're also contributing offensively. This is the best I have seen Spain play in over a year.
Well, Juan Pau Gasol in the building, who won a few silver medals back in his day, did play for Spain at the previous Tokyo Olympics. The big free throws coming up for VJ Edgecombe, 18 years old, on his way to Baylor. He's been terrific so far. And he missed the first one.
Only the 8th free throw attempt compared to 19 free throw attempts for Spain. They're 18 of 19 in this game from the free throw line.
He's able to make the second one. Still a 12-point ball game, under 4 minutes. The Bahamas need stops. Spain want to push away with this. There's a double team coming. Well, they could have come up with it. Now Rudy's not going to try to fire this, but now Spain have 10 here on the shot clock. Lorenzo back to Willy Hernan Gomez. Goes in with the hook shot, can't get it. Now the Bahamas, they've got to, every possession's got to count. Buddy Hield, step back, three is up. And it just hasn't dropped today, Shona.
That's a, you know, that was a pretty good look. Still a lot of time left.
Spain just need to be patient. Bahamas have one foul to give. Lorenzo inside the key, can't get it. Now, can they go quick? And that's going to be 2 free throws here for Buddy Hield.
Segunda falta personal del jugador español.
Buddy Hield has a chance to potentially make it a 10-point deficit with 2:56 to go. The one positive for the Bahamas, they have one foul to give. So at some point, they can take a few chances if they want to put on a bit of full court pressure. As Buddy Hield makes the first free throw. Bahamas have only missed 2 free throws tonight.
You know, 10-point game, it's not out of reach for the Bahamas. Defensively, they need to get it done. Offensively, they can stay aggressive and try and draw fouls because stop the clock, go to the free throw line. You mentioned it, they've only missed 2 free throws today.
All right, turn it over. Buddy Hield comes up with it. Now it's an 8-point ball game, and Sergio Scariolo wasted no time as he calls timeout. And he's infuriated. I think Shona, what he's saying to Willy Hernan Gomez, why don't you flash to the middle? Give them another option, but good defense by the Bahamas.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what the Bahamas needed. Cut that lead, it's single digits now. You know, you make a couple threes, the game is completely different.
Well, Scariolo, one of the very greatest in the history of international basketball. Even though his team lead by 8 with 2:46, this is going to be Operation Hang On at this point. A position to join Giannis and Greece, along with Iago Santos in Brazil for the Olympics. Remember, there's one more final tonight here at the FIBA Olympic Qualifying Tournament after this, and that will be in San Juan, Puerto Rico, as Lithuania will be taking on the host. And at the moment, the Bahamas still fighting to make history. Again, the Bahamas do have one foul to give, and Shona, you think they're going to keep on applying this full court pressure?
They have to. I mean, right now you're down full court pressure. But what you don't want to do is give up easy baskets on the other end. This Spanish team is so experienced, and I think it's going to come down to experience. Even if they do have an open shot, they know that right now the clock and the shot clock is in their favor. They're going to try and use long possessions and make the Bahamas play an entire 24-second defense.
Well, Hernan Gomez this time helps out. Well, they had numbers if they reacted quick enough.
But again, like I said, they had numbers, but they're going to take their time and use the shot clock, or use the game clock.
Hernan Gomez trying to ISO here. There's the foul. Well, he made the bump. He went for the fadeaway. And that's going to be DeAndre Ayton's third personal foul. Well, he's been terrific so far here for the Bahamas. Tonight, 17 points. And now Willy Hernan Gomez back at the free throw line. Spain have only missed one. 19 for 20 this evening. There's that question I asked you at the beginning of the game. Could it be the difference of which team gets the charity shot? I'm not saying it's had a big impact. Obviously, there's other areas, but great free throw shooting from both these two teams. Well, it's going to be a retake. Lane violation against Buddy Hield.
That's probably the difference between NBA. If you're outside, not on the lane line, you gotta wait, just like the shooter does, for that ball to hit the rim. So, well, basically this is a gift to Hernan Gomez.
Lechkin wants to bring the ball up. 10-point ball game. Lechkin twists. Money's got to make this, and that cuts it down to 7 points. Huge three-pointer for the Bahamas. But they've got to dig deep defensively. They must come up with a stop. Dalma finds Willy Hernan Gomez. Well, the gamble mid-court. Bahamas paid the price. Finds Ayton on the lob.
Go up with that.
Edgecombe, got to make this one. Big time three. 6-point ball game, 145.
Well, they're chipping away at this lead, but time is running out. They got to get a stop on the defensive end.
Spain just needs something. The Bahamas have got to play composed defense. Now inside the key, finds Fernandez. Hernan Gomez fakes it. Kicks out. Yule's got to think about it. Puts up a big one. That's no good. 80 seconds left. Down by 6. Buddy Hield now throws it away. Well, he tried to go to DeAndre Ayton. Well, think about it here, Shona. 70 seconds, down 6. It all depends on your defense. You've got to get those stops right now. It's just a little too quick for DeAndre Ayton to... A huge three by the 18-year-old, the maturity.
Missed opportunity there for the Bahamas. They could have got this lead. Maybe the single possession. Now they got to come up with another stop.
No fouls to give. Don't want to send Spain to the free throw line. They get a stop, they've got to go quick. But Spain, maybe one more bucket will send them to the Eiffel Tower. Ayton grabs it. Now they've got to go quick here. Time's not on their side. You can see the Bahamas bench. Hill puts it up. Not a good shot.
That might be it.
Well, the fans can sense it. These Spanish fans, these players, they can see the Eiffel Tower. As Rudy Fernandez will go to the free throw line. Well, The man who's about to make history tonight, Rudy Fernandez.
I was just about to say, Coach Scariolo was talking about some of his veteran players and how these two back-to-back games has been difficult. He's had to monitor their playing time, but talk about Sergio Llull and Rudy Fernandez. They look like they're back in their 20s again.
Well, this will be the 7th consecutive Olympics for Spain. The last time they failed to qualify for the Olympics was in 1996. They went to Sydney, they went to Athens, they went to Beijing, London, Rio, Tokyo, and they're on their way to Paris. Edgecombe another three, can't get it. As Gordon's fouled in the process, and he will go to the free throw line. But you've got to give credit to the Bahamas. They've been excellent in every game, but there's always, growing pains, learning. And, we talk about them going and beating Argentina, and that was a monumental step. But this is the #2 ranked team in the world, Spain, and it's in Spain as we speak.
Yeah, you're playing on the home court of the Spanish team in front of a sold-out crowd. Not that they haven't had to deal with that. Argentina had a sold-out crowd a year ago to qualify for this tournament, but it is different when you're going up against the #2 team in the world, and has been for quite a few years. I mean, this Spanish team, they have Olympic medals, they have World Cup medals. They missed out last year at the World Cup. Disappointing World Cup, but this looks like a completely different team. They won back in 2019. I mean, Spanish basketball, if you're a federation and you're also having the opportunity to play against them, like you said, growing pains, you want to try and mirror what Spain has done as far as basketball goes.
I mean, 47 years. In 47 years, Spain have failed to qualify for 2 Olympics. We mentioned 1996, and of course, another legend in the house.
Yeah, another Spanish legend, Elisa Aguilar. She is now president of the FIBA, the Spanish Basketball Federation. Took over for Garbajosa when he left to become the FIBA Europe president.
President of FIBA Europe, yep. As I mentioned, 47 years, Spain have only failed to qualify for 2 basketball Olympics. We said already, 1996, and of course in 1976, that was the other time. The legacy, the tradition for Spanish basketball. But of course, when you talk about the Bahamas, the future is definitely bright. This national team has done a phenomenal job here at this OQT. And no doubt they'll be planning for the future as Eric Gordon makes the second one. Seven-point lead to Spain. Fernandez going to try to dribble this one out. The foul has been committed, so Willy Hernan Gomez will go back to the free throw line.
Well, standing ovation for that man. You mentioned it, Rudy Fernandez. The man, the myth, the legend. He will go down in the record books. He will be participating in his 6th Olympics. Not just in basketball. No one has completed that feat yet. So it will be Rudy Fernandez, Diana Taurasi for the U.S. women's team, but also in other sports. How many athletes participate in 6 Olympics? I know there are a few. I remember looking it up before this tournament started, but in basketball, he has been that good for that long.
So Layton gets a rebound. And the Bahamas will try to go for one final play for pride. Edgecombe, 3 is up, 3 is no good. Basketball fans, Spain are on their way to the 2024 Paris Olympics. Vamos España, they've done it. They've defeated the Bahamas. They win this one, and they booked us tickets. They're on their way. Look what it means to Rudy Fernandez and his teammates. Mission accomplished. Well, what a terrific game it was in the end. But Spain in that second quarter, they built that momentum, and they didn't look like they were ever going to give it away.
Yeah, you said it. It took them a quarter to get into this game, but they really controlled the tempo offensively. Their best outing, in my opinion. I know they scored more points in other games, but boy, did they look good. Defensively, they shut down the best team in the tournament as far as scoring goes. Everyone was helping each other. Hats off to Scariolo and his coaching staff, because I thought their defensive plan was absolutely excellent in this game.
Well, of course, you know, there was a lot of talk coming into this game, the excitement of how the Bahamas were playing. No doubt everybody was talking about them. The big three, and if you put BJ Edgecombe into that lineup, it becomes a fantastic four. But this is Spain we're talking about, the second-ranked team in world basketball, the champions of the FIBA Basketball World Cup in 2019. And look at those teammates around Rudy Fernandez, the legend. He's done it yet again. And collectively, La Familia, España are on their way to Paris. Phenomenal moment for Spanish basketball.
It really is, and you know, you never really pictured an Olympics without this Spanish team, but after their disappointment, I would maybe say last summer, you were a little worried about the transition, but some big performances. Lorenzo Brown back playing for Spain, I think has really changed what this team can do, and they are gonna be scary heading into the Olympics. And what can they do? Could they be medal contenders?
Well, we know one thing for sure. 3 of the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournaments have now seen Brazil, Greece, and now Spain. There's one more to go. Will either Lithuania or Puerto Rico be joining these 3? But right now, there you can see Spain collect the boarding pass. They book the tickets. They will see the Eiffel Tower, and they will try to bring another medal home. Congratulations to Spain. Shona, they've done it.
They've done it. They've done it, and it wasn't easy. And I really felt like, you know, they progressed almost every game. They've improved since their warm-up, their friendly games. They look like this Spanish team who can be very dangerous if they dig down and defend. They had an easy win over Lebanon. Let's not forget that Angola game. They only won by 8. Angola was scary for them. Finland pushed them to the end. They beat Finland 74-81. And then here today, they had to have a big game, especially offensively, to beat the Bahamas. And it's exactly what they did, beating them 86-78. And I really, we could talk about the big-time players. Willy Hernan Gomez, obviously another great day, 15-7. How about Santi Aldama and what he has done? He looks like a different player from last summer. His confidence, his comfort level with this team now. And then Lorenzo Brown, 18 points. He had 15 points yesterday, his best game for the Spanish team in this tournament. When they need a bucket, they can rely on so many people, and that's what makes them really scary.
Of course, you go to Sergio Scariolo. Remember after they won the 2022 FIBA Eurobasket, he said, listen, we've got so many players that play at a high level in terms of the NBA, but it was the Eurobasket qualifiers that he was able to identify the young talents, Alberto Diaz, Dario Brizuela. Those windows allowed his players to get the chance, the opportunity to play at a high level. And again, that is how you progress international basketball. And you got to ask the question, if we don't have these qualification windows, could Spain have qualified it tonight? I don't think so, because it's not about the big players. It's a collective effort.
It is a collective effort, and you know, they call themselves La Familia, and it is a family event trying to get to an Olympics, a World Cup. And it's not just these men, these 12 men. Like you said, it's also the men who have competed for them who, you know, maybe they're not going to be on the Olympic 12, but they helped them to even get to this spot. And they're important just like the rest of the players are.
Well, Lorenzo Brown joined this team at the 2022 FIBA Eurobasket. There were many questions when they lost in that game to Belgium, a team they hadn't lost to in over 60 years. But they went to Berlin. They won the championship against France. They fell short of expectations last summer at the FIBA Basketball World Cup. But let me tell you something. They've done it here in Valencia, and they have qualified for the Paris 2024 Basketball Olympics.
Well, we know that they are going to be playing in that group with Greece, who just qualified as well today. We have Canada in that group.
Well, monumental award for Santi Aldama.
Buddy, it was a heartbreaking loss here in the final. What was the crucial part of the game?
The refs. I hate calling them the refs. It's like the foul count is too differential in the foul counts. They stopped the game. They put them on the foul line. I mean, I know we're in Spain. It is what it is.
How proud are you of all your team? What did they have achieved?
I'm just disappointed in the refs.
Thank you. Congratulations, Rudy. You're going to Paris. What means for this team to go to the Olympics?
It means a lot. Unbelievable. I started 2004 with the national team in Athens, and we qualified to my 6th Olympic Games. It's unbelievable. I can say nothing.
What does it mean for you? Because it will be the 6th Olympics. Nobody did that.
It means a lot.